On the morning of February 14th, 2018, 19-year-old Nikolas Cruz is sitting in the passenger seat of an Uber he has ordered. The car is heading toward Parkland's Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. At his feet is a closed sports bag that contains a gun, specifically a Smith & Wesson M and P15, a semi-automatic rifle. At about 2:19 p.m., Nikolas Cruz arrives at the high school. He pays the Uber driver, opens the car door, and steps out. He has a school bag on his back, filled with ammunition. Cruz begins walking toward the main entrance of Building 12, also known as the Freshman Building, which houses about 900 students and 30 teachers. Cruz enters through the east stairwell of Building 12 at approximately 2:21 p.m. Once inside, he is in the hallway, where he places his sports bag on the floor, opens it, and gets his gun, loading it with ammunition from the bag on his back. It is here that he sees a student approaching him in the hallway. The student's name is Christopher McKenna. Nikolas looks at him and tells him, "You better get out of here. Something bad's about to happen." Christopher quickly understands what is going on and runs to his coach, Aaron Feiss. He opens the door of Feiss's office and says, "Mr. Feiss, I think Nikolas Cruz is about to shoot up the whole school." "What? Nikolas Cruz? Isn't he suspended?" "Yes, but he's here, and he has a gun." "What gun?" "A rifle." Aaron Feiss immediately calls the police. When Nikolas Cruz reaches the first-floor hallway of Building 12, he spots Martin Anguiano, Gina Montalto, and Luke Hoyer ahead of him. They are walking toward him, chatting with each other, unaware of his presence. As they approach, their conversation stops abruptly. Their attention shifts to him. They see the gun in his hands. "Nikolas, what are you..." Martin Anguiano, Luke Hoyer, and Gina Montalto all fall to the ground. Nikolas starts walking past them when he hears faint cries of pain coming from behind. Gina Montalto is still alive. Hearing her moans, Nikolas turns back. "Please, Nikolas, don't..." Without hesitation, Nikolas fires again, ending her life. All three now lie dead in the hallway. The shooter continues down the hallway when he spots a girl running. It's Ashley Baez. She's almost out of sight, nearing the other end of the hallway. Nikolas fires a shot at her. The bullet hits her leg. Despite the pain, adrenaline fuels her, and she keeps running. Nikolas doesn't realize he hit her, so he doesn't give chase. Instead, he takes a few steps and tries to open the door to one of the classrooms, room 1214. The door is barricaded, so he begins kicking it as hard as he can. Finally, the door gives way, swinging open. Inside, three girls, Alyssa Al-Hadef, Kara Loughran, and Meadow Pollock, are hiding behind desks and chairs, but their efforts to stay concealed fail. They are visible. Nikolas steps inside, staring directly at them. "Get up," he orders. Terrified, all three girls slowly stand, trembling as they beg for their lives. Then he points at Kara Loughran. "You, come here." Kara hesitates, tears streaming down her face, but she obeys and steps toward him. He looks at her and says, "Do you believe in God? What do you think happens after you die?" Kara sobs, begging desperately for her life, but just seconds after asking his questions, Nikolas raises his gun. Kara collapses. Without a word, Nikolas turns to the remaining two girls and opens fire, shooting 7 times. Alyssa Al-Hadef and Meadow Pollock fall to the ground, lifeless. At this point, the entire school knows what's happening. Panic spreads like wildfire. Screams can be heard all around the halls, and students are running everywhere, desperate to save their lives. It's around this time that Aaron Feiss decides to run from his office to Building 12 to help the students escape. Some are barricaded in classrooms, others are hiding in bathrooms, and many are fleeing down the stairs in a frantic effort to get out. As Nikolas moves further down the hall and turns to the right. He spots a group of students heading down the stairs. Aaron Feiss is there with them, helping guide the last few to safety. Nikolas raises his gun and starts shooting. Aaron Feiss acts without hesitation, making himself a human shield to protect the last of the students. The bullets strike him in the chest. Though gravely injured and bleeding heavily, he doesn't die immediately. Nikolas doesn't finish him off and leaves him lying on the ground, bleeding. A group of kids are very close to the shooter, and because the hallways are long, they are still within range and need to find a secure room. The only nearby option is the office of Scott Beigel, a geography teacher. The kids bang on the door, begging him to let them in. Hearing the commotion, Nikolas starts moving toward the turn in the hallway where the sounds are coming from. Scott knows that opening the door could cost him his life, but he decides to do it anyway. As Nikolas rounds the corner, he sees Scott letting the kids into the office, but there isn't enough time for Scott to get inside. He tells the kids to lock and barricade the door. Nikolas fires at him. Scott is killed instantly. Now Nikolas makes his way to the second floor. When he gets there, he sees the hallways are empty. He doesn't realize it at the moment, but this is because the fire alarm has gone off. He looks through a few classrooms, but finds no one inside, so he decides to head to the third floor. For some reason, there are still students on the third floor, confused by the fire alarm. When they see him, panic erupts. They start screaming, running, or hiding, but Nikolas hunts them down and kills every last one of them. Carmen Schentrup, Helena Ramsey, Nicholas Dworet, Alex Schachter, and Joaquin Oliver lose their lives. Most of them die in the hallways, but some are killed in classrooms or while hiding in bathrooms. During this chaos, Chris Hickson, the school's athletic director and coach, sacrifices his life trying to stop the shooter as Nikolas fires at the students in the hallway. He runs out of one of the classrooms to disarm the shooter, but Nikolas hears him sprinting to him and quickly turns, shooting him twice, once in the neck and once in the head. After killing everyone on the third floor, Nikolas's weapon malfunctions, and he stops shooting at around 2:27 p.m. He leaves the rifle behind on the third floor, then walks down the stairwells, blending in with the fleeing students. He exits the building through the west stairwell. After escaping the school, Nikolas goes to a nearby fast food restaurant where he buys a soda and then wanders aimlessly in the area. At 3:41 p.m., the police stop him in Coral Springs, about 2 miles from the school. He surrenders without resistance. By the end of the attack, Nikolas had taken the lives of 17 people, 14 students and 3 staff members, and injured another 17, making this school shooting one of the deadliest in American history. Nikolas Cruz is sentenced to 34 life sentences.